Today we want to look at matrix multiplication code. The last class I taught you matrix multiplication. And I said in this class I'm going to show you how to write a C code to do the same thing that we did practically in the class last time. So without wasting much time, let's get right in. So same thing I'm going to do, include stdio.h for our printf function. Then I'll say my int main, which is always the soul. You have to do everything inside it. Now I'm going to declare compile time initialization. I will declare my two arrays and then initialize them at compile time. So I'll say int mat1 matrix 1, right? Then I will say 2 by 2 arrays. That was what we thought. Then I will initialize it. I will say this one, this will carry 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5. So we just did 2 by 2, Abby. So this is not correct. So we'll say 2 by 2. So we'll close this, comma, then 3, 4. Then we close this. So this is our first array, 2 rows, row 1, row 2. How many columns? 2 columns, column 1, column 2. Then the second array, mat 2. This one also 2 by 2. Then it's the same thing. 1, 2, comma, 3, 4. Then, so this is our second array. But we want to multiply this array and this array. So we are going to have the third array. So we have to also declare that array. So we say int mat 3, 2 by 2. So we have to declare it so that the memory space will be allocated. Then all we need to do is when we are multiplying this, we'll be filling up the address for it. Now we are going to declare 4 variables. This time around, I will declare them outside as global. So int, they are all going to be integers. So I'll just declare them in a straight line. Int I, comma, j, comma, k, comma, and then based on the equation that I showed you, there's going to be sum. So I will declare sum, right? Now I'm putting all of them in a straight line because they are the same integer. I is an integer, j is an integer, k is an integer. The sum will also be an integer. When you're adding them together, you won't see fraction. So that's why I'm doing this. So I've declared this. I declare my array and I initialize them. So memory location has been created and then these values has been inserted. I've explained to you, these are 2 by 2 arrays. Now, I need to access these arrays. What will I do? I will now bring in what? My for loops. So I'm going to write my for loop here. So I'll say for, since I have declared them outside, I don't need to declare them inside again. I'm just going to initialize them. So I assign 0 to it, comma. So I less than what? 2. So I less than 2. Then I plus plus. You go in, then another one for j, assign 0 to it, j less than 2, then j plus plus. Then you go in. Now I'm going to do something here before the k. Because I'm going to carry out my multiplication inside, I'm going to carry out my process inside the k loop, which is the third inner loop. I will have to do my summation also inside. But I want my value, which will be stored in the sum, variable. I want to be able to access it when I come out of that K loop. Because if I come out of that K loop, everything in that K loop will be destroyed. So I'm going to initialize this my sum outside of the K loop. So inside this for loop, I will say sum, assign 0 to it. Then I will now say for K, right? Assign 0. Then K less than 2. Then K plus plus. So here I will say sum, right, plus equals to, meaning I'm going to multiply mat1, I, K, multiply by mat2, K, J, right? Then when I do this, I will now close this. Now, the moment I close this one, when I come out of it, I am going to have something here, which is still inside this for loop. So you will not be able to see. So let me write it here. Now, what is going to be outside of this K for loop will now be mat 3, I, J, assign sum to it. Then, so this, my for loop, I am going to close it like this. This other loop, I'm going to close it here. Then I will now say return. I'm going to close it here. So, all right. So this is my code. Now I initialize my arrays here, my two arrays, this and this. Now this for loop is what I'm using to do the multiplication. So what will happen if I come here and I do this, I do this, and I do this? So this is I, this is J, and then this is K. Now, if I am to do this, I will come here. Zero, one, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I told you this is I, this is K, and this is J. Now let's look at this equation. So what do? We come into this. I equals to 0. I is less than 2. That is true. You come in. So we have assigned 0 to I. J, assign 0 to J. J less than 2. So you assign 0 to J. You come in. Then you also have sum. So at this point now, you assign 0 to sum. Then you come into this place. K, assign 0 to K. K less than 2. That is true. You come in. So what this is saying is mat1, IK. So I is 0, right? I is 0. K is 0. That's what this is. So what will be the value? How will you locate the value? So you now come to this place. You take this one and then you come here. So K is 0, I is 0. So what is there? 1, right? So this is 1. So this is 1. Then you come to this side. So this multiplication. You come to this side. Mark 2. K is 0. J is 0. Then you come to this one, which is this one. This is mat 2. So this is mat 2. And this is mat 1. Mat 1. So K is what? K is 0. J is 0. K is what? 0. And J is what? 0. So that will give you times 1. When you multiply it, whatever the value is, which is 1, right? You add it to what the value of sum is. Sum will now be what? 1, right? Then you increment k to what? To 1. You increment a to 1. Then you come back into this place. I is now 0. And so I is 0. K is what? 1. You come back to this place. I is now what? 0. And k is what? K is 1, which is this one. So that is 2. So this place becomes 2. Multiply by mass 2. K is what? K is 1. J is 0. So here is k is 1. K is 1, which is what? 1. And j is 0. That is 3. So multiply by 3. So this time this will give you what? 6. That 6, you add it into what was sum. That makes sum to become what? 7. Then you increment k. K becomes 2. Then you test the condition. 2 less than 2. That is not true. Then you come out of this loop. Sum, because it was global to k, has now changed to what? To 7. That's what you are seeing here. Has now changed to 7. Now, what do? You come out of this loop because the condition is no longer true. When you come out of this for loop, you will encounter this guy, which is assign that value of sum what? To mat ij. And then you have mat ij here, which is A, B, C, D. So A is the mat ij. So it's asking you to assign the value to it. So you are going to insert it into this place. Right? Then you increment J. So J now will become 1. You increment J to 1. Then you test the condition. 1 less than 2. That is not true. You will come in. When you come in, you will reassign 0 back to sum. So this place becomes 0 before you enter the K loop. When you enter the K loop, you assign 0 back to K. Right? Then you test the condition. 0 less than 2. That is true. Then you come in. So at this point, we have mat 1, I, K. What is I? I is 0. K is what? 0. So you come to this mat 1. I is 0. K is 0. What is the value that is there? 1. Multiply by, you come to mat 2. K is 0. J is 1. So K is 0. J is what? 1. K is 0. J is 1. That is 2. 0, 1. That is 2. So this time this, that gives you 2. And then you assign it to this place. So this one becomes 2. Then you do what? You increment K to 1. K becomes 1. Then you test the condition. 1 less than 2. That is true. You come inside again. So in mat 1, I is what? 0. K is what? 1. So you come to this place. I is 0. K is what? 1. That is 2. So this place will give you 2. Multiply by mat 2. In mat 2, what is K? K is 1. You come here, K is 1, right? And then J is what? J is 1. So K is 1, J is 1. That is 4. So this place will give you 4. So this time this will give you 8, right? And then you assign the 8 to whatever sum is. And sum was 2. So you are adding it. This one is plus equals 2. So you are adding what is here now to what was already in sum. So this one becomes 10. Then you increment K to 2. Right? Then you test the condition. 2 less than 2. That is no longer true. So you come out of this loop. When you come out of this loop, you will encounter this guy, which is assign sum to this place. And if you look at this place now, I is 0, J is what? 1. So if you look at here, this one is 0, this is 1, this is 0, this is 1. This is I, this is J. Right? So I is 0, J is 1. So I is 0, I is 0, J is what? 1. So that is B. So whatever you have inside this sum, you assign it here. That will be 10. Right? So that is exactly what we are going to do to fill up A, B, C, D. So it is the K that is constantly changing. That is the alignment. How to use the K factor to convert things from one rem to another rem. So that K factor becomes a portal. It is the one that is constantly changing. It's because of this board I will have written everything out clearly for you to see. So you can test it on your own. So this is the code, C code that you will use to achieve this matrix multiplication to give you the expected output that you need. Even if you want to do 3 by 3 multiplication, it's the same concept you follow. The number of rows in the first matrix must be equal to the number of columns in the second matrix. And whatever answer you will get will be equal to the other side, which is the number of columns here and the number of rows on this side. That is what I want to show you in this class. Let's go to code blocks. Let me demonstrate this for you to see. This is our code blocks. And then this is the script for matrix multiplication. So this is my declaration of the arrays, and then declaration of the variables. And then this is what I taught you on the board, using a nested for loop to be able to do the multiplication of these two arrays. And then for every sum, you assign the value to mat3. Now, the part I didn't show you is how to now populate them on the screen. So this is the script. This for loop, inner for loop are the same for the 3. So this one is to print out matrix 1, which is mat1. And then you are using nested loop 2 to achieve it. And then you are going to print out in a matrix form. So this is just the script. So I didn't show you this on the board because I've taught you how to be able to project, assign the memory, and push out the values on the screen. Now this one is for matrix 2, and then this one is for the final matrix that we got. So I'm going to execute this script for you to see what the output will be like. So this is it. So you can see the first one is printing out matrix 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Second one is also printing out the same matrix 2. So the same value, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the multiplication matrix is 7, 10, 15, 22, which is what I've explained to you on the board. So this is how to multiply, to write the code for the multiplication of matrix. So do not forget to like and do not forget to subscribe if you have not done so. So till we see in the next class. Bye-bye.